Hello everyone, welcome you all. My name is Shraddha Vichare and today I am here to discuss some of the topics of your CA Foundation course as well as CS Foundation course. Before moving on any of the topic or chapter, I would like to share a bit of my introduction with you all. So my name is Shraddha Vichare and I am MCOM in Financial Accounting and Auditing. I have also qualified NET and SET examinations as well as I am a Junior Research Fellowship awardee. We are going to study some of the topics in your foundation course of CA and CS examinations. I have chosen this way of communication or this platform of learning just because you all can learn with your own pace or with your own time anywhere and anytime. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's session. So, as you can see, today we are going to discuss one topic of your CA foundation course, and it is topic from your paper 1 and it is chapter number 10 of your syllabus. I think some of you have already covered this chapter, or some of you will they have not yet seen or studied this chapter. But company accounts, it was there in class 11 and 12. But now we are going to study. We have to study it in detail from the perspective of our examination, because as you can see on the slide, this chapter carries a high weightage, that is, it is for 15 marks. Yes, from your paper 1, that is from accountancy, two chapters carry high weightage, that is partnership, and another one is company accounts. So we have to study it very well. We cannot ignore this chapter. So as you can see in your module, in your study material, everything is given in detail, so you can take reference of all that material. I'm going to clear the concepts, so major focus will be on concept clarity. And as you can see on the slide, I have noted some of the points from your syllabus or from that chapter which are majorly asked in the paper. The questions on the parts on which the major questions are asked, that I have mentioned over here. So see, first, as I told, this chapter carries 10 to 15 marks, and 10 to 15 marks, if you have to score this, then you have to study it in detail. And this chapter is basically divided into three parts in your module. Part 1 is introduction of the company. In that, all the introduction, meaning, features, types, etc. is given. And see, and the major part which we have to cover is format of the financial statements, statement of profit and loss, and balance sheet. Okay, then next part is part 2, which is about issue, forfeiture, and reissue of shares. And in that, we are talking about shares, all the accounting procedures of issue of shares, forfeiture, and reissue. These are the major focused points from that part. That is, the questions are basically asked if we analyze some past previous year papers, then we can observe that the major part questions were done in November 2018 2019 examinations. Forfeiture reissue questions were asked. Now part 3 is about issue of debentures. Now there's four things which I have mentioned over here. After analyzing some past papers, the questions are based on these points: debentures which are issued for consideration other than cash, debentures issued as a collateral security, issue and redemption of debentures, and interest on debentures. Instead of these points, there are a number of other points in your lesson, like journal entries, calls in advance, areas, and number of other things are there. So we are going to discuss each and everything in detail. I hope you will enjoy the learning. So let us start. First, we'll see introduction of the company. What is mean by company? Or why the company form of organization is there. So why? The reason is major reasons are given over here. First is to overcome the difficulties. Which difficulties? The difficulties which are faced in proprietorship or partnership. We have studied that there are two forms of business organization. These two forms of business organizations are private sector organization and public sector organization. In private sector organization, number of organizations are there: sole trading concern, partnership, joint stock company, joint Hindu family, but they all have some difficulties or some limitations they are having. So company form of organization is better than, comparatively better. It can overcome difficulties which are faced in partnership. See, like next reason is to expand a business or to increase the scale of operations. Now see, if the proprietorship business is there or the partnership business is there, then single person or the some limited number of persons cannot expand a business on a huge scale. But the company form of organization includes large amount of money, or the huge modern technologies are used, and nowadays expansion is very much essential. You know the reason is human wants. Nowadays human wants are increasing, or they customers are expecting a lot. And as per that, businessman has to expand their business. They have to make changes, they have to use modern technology. This all is possible only if the business is having large amount of money. And in partnership, proprietorship, we cannot we will have some limitations of money. So in the company form of organization, there is a large amount of money, and obviously if money is there, there is a scope for use of modern technologies. So therefore company form of organization came into existence. And last but not the least, large human contribution. The form of organization where there is a large contribution of human resources, you can surely say that it's a company. Okay, so we can conclude that company form of organization is far better than the other form of organization, or it is just because other forms of organizations have some limitations, and the company can overcome these difficulties. Therefore company form of organization is there. Okay, now next part is what does mean by company. Now we have studied why the company form of organization is there. Now what does mean by company? The word company which we use in our day to day life, we all know the meaning of word company. We are using, no, like I like his company, or I don't like her company. So company means what? That particular person, or with reference the company, the word when we are using in such a reference, then company means togetherness. Okay, when we enjoy the company of any person, means we are together with that person. It means what? Company means a group of people which are voluntarily means togetherly agree to form a company. Okay, so that is company. Some people are togetherly doing some activity, they are agreed to voluntarily share their company. So now, what is the origin of this word? It came from the Latin language. In Latin language there are two words, com plus panis. Com means together and panis means bread. It is mentioned that originally the group of people, basically they were merchants, they were coming together for some food purpose or some other trading purpose. It was called as company. Okay, so from that, the history of the word is in the Latin language. Okay, together plus bread. Now see the proper meaning which we have studied in class 11, 12. You all know that company means what? Is which is formed and incorporated under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous company law. Means company is one form of organization which is incorporated, means which is established, registered under which act? Under the Companies Act. It is known as company, not necessarily Companies Act 2013, any Companies Act, any previous company law. Okay, so this is called as company. Now next is, it is essential we should know the what are the features of company. We have discussed that company is one form of organization which is which is able to overcome the difficulties which are faced in partnership and proprietorship. We have also discussed that company is one form of organization which is established under company's law. Okay, now let us discuss what are the features of company. There are number of features, and we are studying it or we are knowing it. But now at this point, it is essential that you should know meaning of each and every concept given over here. It is not only thing that you are knowing that separate legal entity, perpetual succession, these points are there. It is not enough. You should know that separate legal entity means exactly what. So let us discuss one by one. First feature is incorporated association. Now incorporated association means what? When you study this, you have to just keep in your mind just one word, that is as per law. Incorporated association means company is one organization which is established as per law. It is incorporated and registered as per the law, so it is called as incorporated association. Okay, now next, second feature is separate legal entity. Now one word description means separate legal entity means what? Company is artificial legal person. It has a separate legal existence, means in the eyes of law company is in existence as a person, but it is not a natural person, it is artificial legal person. It means in the eyes of law company has rights as a person, but it is not natural person, it is artificial person. But as it is a separate legal existence it is having, so it can contract or it can sue or can be sued. Means company can make contracts in its name, or it can sue, it can file a case against someone, or it can be sued, or you can say that company can buy property. Means whatever the natural person is doing, these things company can also do. It means it enjoys the legal existence. Okay, now see what is the next point. Next feature number 3 is perpetual succession. So perpetual succession means what? It means long life. Company is going to survive for the long period of time. It doesn't get affected due to the insolvency, due to the death or retirement of its members. Even though, or instead of this certain point things like death, retirement or insolvency of its members, company is in existence for the long period of time. It is only called as perpetual succession. Okay, clear? Let's see next. Next is common seal. Easiest. Yes, we all know that. What is mean by common seal? Common seal means it is a signature of a company. Means company, just now we discussed that company is a artificial legal person, it can make contracts. So if it wants to make contract, it has to sign the contract. So company is not a natural person, it is not having hands, so how can it sign? So there is a common seal. Common seal is like a stamp. Every company is having its common seal. It is used as a signature of a company. So on the important documents it is affixed as a signature of the company. Okay, it is mandatory that on the necessary or important documents such as bill of exchange, there should be the common seal, that is stamp of the company. As per Companies Act 2013, changes has been made. Now it is not mandatory. If the directors are signing, then also it is okay. but signature common seal is that signature of the company or the stamp of the company, which is affixed on important documents. Next, feature number 5 is limited liability. Limited liability, unlimited liability, limited liability we are studying, but do you know the meaning of this point? So limited liability means what? The liability of the shareholders, which are members of the company, is limited to the extent of the number of shares allotted to him or her. Okay, now see, unlimited liability. If you know the meaning of unlimited liability, what is meant by unlimited liability? For example, sole proprietor has unlimited liability. It means his business property and his personal property, there is no difference. If the business assets are less to pay the business debts, then his personal property can be used to pay off this. It means his liability is unlimited. But in the company form of organization, whatever shareholders are there, though that shareholders liability is limited up to the number of shares they are having. If one shareholder is having 1000 shares, okay, so whatever price of that 1000 shares is, his liability is only that amount, and he has already paid that amount, then he is no more liable for any of the debts of the company. Understood? Okay, so next feature is periodic audit. Periodic audit, now as per the company law, the company has been established, we have studied in point number 1. So as per that law, it is essential that company should make periodic audit. That is, periodically they have to make audit of their financial statements by the chartered accountants. Okay, and it is mandatory. Next feature is company is not a citizen. Yeah, we have studied that it has a separate legal existence. It is an artificial legal person, but it is not a citizen. Company doesn't enjoy any citizenship rights. Okay, then say for example, if you want example like natural persons are citizens of the country, so they have right to vote, but company cannot vote in the elections of the country like this. Okay, so it doesn't enjoy any citizenship rights. Now next point number, I think 8. Okay, feature number 8 is distinction between ownership and management. Now distinction means what? Difference in the ownership of the company and management of the company, there is difference. They both are not same, they are different. Now ownership, who are the owners of the company? Shareholders are the owners of the company. And managers, board of directors. Yeah, so why shareholders and board of directors are not same? Why they cannot be this or they cannot be this? Because see, ownership, shareholders are not owners of the company, because shareholders are located in different geographical areas. So for the company it would be difficult if the management is in the hands of all those shareholders. So therefore the concept of difference of ownership and management came into existence, and in the company this thing is there is a difference in ownership and management. Okay, now next feature is transferability of shares. Transferability, it means shares are transferable, but not in case of private limited company. That is, shares of the company are transferable except private limited company. Private limited company cannot transfer its shares to the public, otherwise in other companies shares are transferable. Okay, now next feature you can see over here is, what is next feature? Maintenance of books. Maintenance of books, what it says? Maintenance of books says that company has to maintain its record of its books. Now that is, in accounts we have to record all the books of accounts, and we have to make record of financial statements. Okay, now see, Same alike, company also has to maintain some books of accounts, and it is mandatory. And last feature is right to access information. Who has this right? Shareholders of the company, they have right to access the information. Shareholders are not managing the company, management is different, but still they have right to know all the information, all the records, such as they can access this information through participating in the meetings of in the company. They can also access the information through various reports, financial statements. Okay, so they have this right. Okay, so in this way we have studied some features of the company, and I hope you are clear with this. As this video is becoming so long, the next part in the next part we'll study types of the company. Up to that, stay tuned. Thank you for your time, and I'll suggest you that do share your feedback. If any changes are essential, I would like to tell you that please frankly tell all these things. Thank you once again.